Depression is the leading cause of disability in the world, and it is present everywhere. In the US, 10% of the adult population struggles with depression. People with depression live two lives, a life that everybody sees and a life that only they see. Depression is not something that can be seen, only felt. Depression is not just feeling sad when things are not going right. Depression is feeling sad even when things are going the way they're supposed to. Every 30 seconds, someone takes their own life due to depression. Depression is a much avoided discussion in the news, social media, and everyday life because it isn't dynamic or unusual. It doesn't cause interest. Due to this, people would sometimes only seek help 10 years later, which can be far too late for some. We as a society refuse to talk about depression, and people keep it bottled up, which is actively damaging. They feel they cannot speak, lest they be shunned. So in order to push past this wall of ignorance, we need to talk about depression. We need to push past the stigma of ignoring it and pretending that it doesn't exist. We need to come together, stand together, and help people to stand up to depression. Types of depression: feeling depressed and clinical depression. Clinical depression is a medical disorder that lingers for at least 2 weeks, while merely feeling depressed is a feeling that eventually goes away after some time. Some clinical depression symptoms are feeling worthless, sleeping too much or too little, poor concentration, restlessness or slowness, loss of energy, recurrent thoughts of suicide, and more. If at least 5 symptoms are present, then the person qualifies for a diagnosis of clinical depression. What you can do to help depressed people is by encouraging them to seek help. Give them understanding and don't push them too hard. Be gentle. You can help even more by researching therapists in the area and making a list of questions for the depressed person to ask a doctor. It is best to be open with people who are depressed and bring up issues like their suicidal thoughts. This helps reduce the risk that they might do it. Anxiety is another very common medical issue. 1 out of 4 people have it. And yes, it also has 2 types, just like depression. Normal anxiety is what everyday people feel in stressful situations. Anxiety disorder, however, appears in situations that don't pose any real threat. Help people recover from anxiety, here are some useful tools to cope. Feel like you're in control of your life. Push yourself to feel like you're in control of your situation. Stop hesitating over making decisions. Just do it. It's better than making no decision at all. You can't expect perfection. Forgive yourself for every single mistake you think you may have made. It already happened. Let it go. Find a purpose to strive for. It's difficult to be happy when you don't have a meaning in your life. Mental health is a difficult subject surrounded by ignorance. If we can all help each other by spreading awareness and talking about our issues, it will better the world we all live in. Many people only think about mental health issues through a first world viewpoint, but this neglects to think about the millions of people who are suffering with no consideration. In different cultures around the world, mental health issues are not deemed as medical illnesses, but that is an error made in ignorance. For example, in West Africa, the word mental means a madman with dirty hair, half naked on the streets. If you are sick, you get to go see a doctor and receive medical treatment, but if you're suffering from depression, you get to see a pastor who blames it all on witchcraft. 75% of mental illness cases can be found in low-income countries. Additionally, most African governments only spend about 1% of their budget on mental health care, and 90% of people in Africa suffering from depression and other mental health issues lack access to treatment. People suffering from depression in Africa refuse to talk about their issues lest they be labeled as a madman. Those who do talk about it claim that depression comes from a variety of sources. 34% of people say it's from drug use, 19% say it is a religious/belief issue, 12% say it's witchcraft, and a few others say it's genetic, social status, or loss. All of these come from ignorance, guilt, fear, and anger. Mental health should be deemed as important as a physical illness due to how many people are suffering from it every day.